Hey, my Liptons. So I wanted to quickly come in here and talk about the WWE Hall of Fame 2025. You already know, I'm just this only really gonna be the only thing that I react to. Going forward, I'm not really gonna react to WrestleMania 1 or WrestleMania 2. It's not giving. Like from what I've heard, the build to this WrestleMania has been horrible. It's been trash. Like nobody understands why John Cena turned heel. Nobody understands the story. It just doesn't make any sense. And I said that in my video discussing WrestleMania, John Cena turning heel. Y'all guys can go to my Wrestling Talk playlist where I discussed that. But I will say this though. I really do like the Hall of Fames. Here's my thing though. I do want to say about the WWE. It's like y'all investing so much money. Like y'all have rings. Y'all creating whole sculptures of like these wrestlers and things like that. Why not build a whole freaking like I don't know museum in Stamford, Connecticut, where the headquarters are located? Why not just build a museum over there where people or like tourists can go and and view like the plaques and the sculptures of these wrestlers? Like to me personally, I feel like the reason why people to this day, like really downplay and disrespect and don't take the WWE Hall of Fame seriously is because number one, there is no physical Hall of Fame. And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, like it's 2025. Y'all have all this money. Y'all have all this coin. Y'all getting money from all avenues, from Saudi Arabia to Netflix to USA Network. Hell, I even heard on Tubi now. Y'all got to deal with them. If y'all don't take some of that money and go build a damn museum in the freaking WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, and get, put something there. Goddamn. Like, how long are we going to keep going through this? It's like all these other places have physical Hall of Fames. The NBA Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame, the what's it called? The Baseball Hall of Fame. All these people have physical Hall of Fames except for the WWE Hall of Fame. So it's like, this is why people do take it as a joke, and it doesn't make any sense because y'all just come in there, just say, hey, take pictures, deuces, and then gone. It's like, no, like, have a physical Hall of Fame where people can go and visit. And honestly, y'all would make more money out of if y'all were to do that. Y'all guys can, because y'all already know the ticket prices are crazy in WWE right now in 2025. Shout out to the marks that be buying the tickets, not me, child, okay? But y'all, like, the ticket prices are crazy. So y'all might as well just, continue to hemorrhage those pockets, okay? Go and, get a physical Hall of Fame. You guys charge the people. Let them go and physically visit the Hall of Fame. It's just like, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that. Either way, I will say this, though. I watched the full show. Like, oh, my God, can you believe it? I actually sat down. This is the first time I really sat down and, like, watched a full show of, like, quote-unquote wrestling content. I guess you could say technically wrestling content, but because I was always a fan of it in the past, way past, not in recent years, because I think I've said this in another video. I didn't like the formatting of how WWE changed the Hall of Fame, like where they put the ring in the middle and then they had the seats. I didn't like it because I felt like, okay, like y'all are putting this with y'all storylines and act, and I'm like, the Hall of Fame is meant to like induct the nominees that are supposed to be inducted, and it's supposed to be classy. And I felt like from like 2004 to like 2000, when did they start putting the ring in the middle and then they had the seats? I don't even know when, but like from 2004 to like 2000 and what, 16, 17, 18 maybe? Who got it in 2018? I'm forgetting. Either way, like around there, I felt like it was classy, but then I don't know why they tried to switch it up. And they put that ring, and it looked so stupid. I felt like y'all was still trying to play up to this storyline things. But I am glad for this Hall of Fame, they went back to the basics. It was just like the stage, and then you had the people, the audience. Like you had the stage facing the audience. I prefer that kind of formatting than the whole ring thing. That's number one. Especially like when it came to like when The Undertaker first got inducted into the Hall of Fame, I was like, I wish I would have never done that. Like, he should have had the full stage and then the audience facing him. I didn't like the whole, like, ring thing and then the gear on the side of him just, walking around like as if he's some kind of preacher. Like, I didn't like it. But I did like his story, what he has to say. But that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, so I am glad they went back to that formatting of the show. I will say, I didn't like Michael Cole and Pat McAfee being the host. I feel like they were too annoying for me. They were too animated and getting. Where is Jerry the King Lawler when you need him, child? Where is Jerry the King Lawler when you need him? Maybe I'm like an old school kind of person. I like the way how Jerry the King Lawler. If you guys will go back and watch the old WWE Hall of Fames, when Jerry the King Lawler will come out, he would talk. It very classy. I thought it was very classy, very well done. To me, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, they were doing too much for me, and I'm like, bro, get y'all off, get off my screen, just get off my screen. And what I've been hearing too, I feel like I've been hearing that Michael Cole has been feeling himself a lot lately on commentary ever since Vince McMahon left. So it's just like he kind of needs to be pulled back a little bit, Michael Cole. So yeah, that's a whole different conversation. So there's that. So that, they got a little bit of flaws. Okay, let's get into the nominees. Oh God, child, I don't know what kind of comments I'm gonna get on this video. I don't know what kind of cuts, because I got a lot to say. And some things might be a little bit mean-spirited, but listen, it has to be said. At the end of the day, a good amount of y'all out here being whole fashion police, judging these people's dresses and suits on the internet. So you know what? If I want to come here and be a little bit mean-spirited, so be it. Okay, y'all guys are also out here judging. So the show started off with Lex Luger. Happy to see he was walking. The package was cute. Especially for someone at Lex Luger's caliber, his speech was kind of short. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, they really shortened that up. So it was surprising how short it was. But they definitely got into. I thought his package was really nice. DDP. I did hear that initially he wanted Sting to induct him, but apparently Sting is still signed to AEW, even though I'm like, didn't he retire? But apparently there's like whole Legends contract. So I thought that's kind of whack on Tony Khan's end. It's like, let him induct his friend. Like, Lex Luger and this whole, they knew each other before you were even born. So it's like the fact that Sting, but then again, Sting should have also advocated for himself if this is true. Sting should have also been like, listen, I'm gonna go induct my friend. There's nothing that you can do about it. Like, that's personally how I would have done it and how I would have felt. Especially at that time, if you really think about it, with Lex Luger, I think Sting was like Lex Luger's only friend at the time, like in the past. Like, Eric Bischoff didn't like him. He had some heat here and there, especially with the whole situation with Miss Elizabeth. So it's like, Sting was really there for him. So it's like, for me personally, and I get it, DDP, I also understand DDP inducting him because, DDP has kind of helped him, with his physical therapy and walking and that sort of thing. So it's good to see it and hear that. But if anything, I wish Sting could have definitely done it, because it's like, and if Tony Khan did reject, even though it's like, I don't know, I don't see Tony Khan, I don't know. Tony Khan is a little bit too much of a wimp for me to see him saying that to Sting. Like, because I can't, but then I don't know. But either ways, I thought Lex Luger's speech was good. Good to see him walk a little bit. But the way y'all guys were saying it, y'all made it seem as if he was walking, like, strutting through no, like, he came out in the wheelchair and then they had to help him up, and then he did like maybe 1-2 step to the podium, and then okay, like he did a 1-2 step. It wasn't like a lot of walking. Okay, he didn't walk like a few feet, but it was good to see that. Next, it was the whole Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So this is this controversial? Like, I feel like it's gotten to the point with the WWE Hall of Fame where it's like they inducted everybody so much so they don't have nobody to induct. So they're like, you know what? Let's just pretend and make a whole category where we're now inducting matches into the Hall of Fame. And initially when I heard that, I thought it was so dumb. And I'm like, y'all don't have no more. Yeah, that's the issue too. That's a WWE problem too, because that's how they haven't really built stars in the past like 15 to 20 years. That's how they haven't built new stars in the past 15 to 20 years to the point where now they have to rely on matches from like the 80s and the 90s to induct into the Hall of Fame. If y'all guys were at Triple H, and this is me talking to you, and I'm gonna get to you in a second. If you were actually focused on bringing capable writers. You sitting in the background, sit in the back. You actually should have been a Vince McMahon and actually sat in the back instead of inducting yourself into the Hall of Fame. And actually hiring proper writers, capable writers, instead of you taking the mantle because you're just a wrestler. You don't have a degree in journalism. And having capable people, there would have been some stars built. But for the past 15 to, can you guys name me any stars built for the past 15 to 20 years? And I don't want to hear no Roman Reigns. I don't want to hear no Roman, because Roman Reigns ain't no Stone Cold Steve Austin. Roman Reigns ain't no Rock. So I'm talking about like across the board star. And I'm talking Stone Cold Steve Austin level, The Rock level, Hulk Hogan level. I think after the whole ruthless aggression era, there has been no stars. After the Brock Lesnar, Batista, Randy Orton, who else? Randy Orton, John Cena. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I guess we can also add Rey Mysterio there. Because Rey Mysterio, I feel like he kind of transcended the business a little bit too. But anyway, I feel like after that era, there hasn't really been big stars that came out of WWE. So that just shows the lack of stars. So that's why I feel like now they've gone to, inducting matches. So they basically inducted the Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin match of 1996. And of course, it was a great match. And they said it too. Bret Hart at this point, he's like a third time WWE Hall of Famer now, and like Stone Cold is like a second time now. And also, I did listen to the speech. Stone Cold was throwing some shade, child. He was throwing some shade, and I'm glad he said it. But like he made one comment about like how like him and Bret's match was very simplistic, and he was basically telling the wrestlers now, and I'm glad he said it, and I'm glad he said it to their face right there, that like the match was very simple. Like y'all don't have to keep doing all this flip-flopping, jumping off of a freaking building, doing all these moves, and there's no proper finish. No finish is really laying anybody out. Y'all are kicking out to everything. It's like, keep things simple. That's what he was saying, and I'm glad. Some people caught the message. Okay, a lot of people caught that shade. Okay, and I was here for it. So yeah, like I thought that their speech was good. Stone Cold, yeah, I already know he's my favorite wrestler of all time. He's the GOAT to me. I love him down. Good to see that. Yeah, and their little sculpture thing. That's what I'm saying. Like that kind of sculpture with Bret's face and Stone Cold Steve Austin's face, that needs to be in a museum. Like they need to build their own Hall of Fame and have that in there so that people can go and actually see it. So it's like, what are y'all doing with these sculptures after y'all guys make it? Is Bret taking it home? So like, I don't know. There's that. All right, let's move on. Next, let's get to Michelle McCool. Y'all, I'm like, I do truly. First, let's get to the main thing. People said that, Michelle McCool was undeserving. She only got in it because she's Undertaker's wife, which is true. And I think that she also recognizes that as well. And then on top of that, in her package, in the WWE Hall of Fame package for her, they also stated that, she found another partner, The Undertaker. So they're making it clear themselves. The only reason why she's getting this position is because of her husband. So there's that. Listen, I also watched Michelle McCool. I personally liked Lake Cool. Do I think that she should have gone by herself as a singles? No, I think that she probably should have gone in with Layla. And that might be controversial to say because a lot of people were not feeling Michelle McCool getting into the Hall of Fame, okay? And I don't blame y'all. But like, if y'all were going to do it, y'all should have let her and Layla kind of go in together, because I felt like as a unit, they were the mean girls. I don't care what nobody say, okay? Like they were. And people now, they're sensitive now. Y'all know in 2025, everybody's sensitive about, oh my God, Lake Cool was fat shaming and Piggy Jane. Listen, they were heels. They did what they had to do, okay? Like, that's what heels are supposed to do. They're supposed to be mean and bitchy and nasty and that kind of shit. So it's like, yeah, let them be heels. Let them fat shame and, Piggy James and all that different. I was here for it. Listen, y'all are too sensitive. Y'all couldn't have been here for the Attitude Era. Y'all are way too sensitive, okay? I was here for Lay Cool. I thought Lay Cool were great heels. But I think that if they would have went in as a group, it's like, you see how the Bellatons went in as a group, they didn't go in as singles? You know what I mean? It would look crazy, even though it does look crazy that the Bellatons went in. But like still, they went in as a group. Whereas like Michelle McCool, yes, like she was a gifted wrestler. She had some athleticism. But like especially for me as a casual, I mostly knew her for Lay Cool. I didn't really know her as a casual, as a singles. So she should have gone in with her partner, filming with her. And on top of that, I feel like Layla should have been the one to induct her. Like, why is the Undertaker inducting her? Why wasn't the Undertaker in the audience? I don't know. That's how I feel. That's number one. Number two, I have to point this out because it was very noticeable. And it's no shade to Michelle McCool. I like Michelle McCool. But Michelle McCool, I'm sorry, y'all. She looks botched now. This is her old picture here. Y'all need to see how she looks now in 2025. Michelle McCool looks botched. I'm sorry, it's too noticeable. The Botox, I don't know if she got plastic surgery on her face. Like, I don't know what she did to her face. But, bro, like, she looks so plastic. And then there's something, I don't know, did she get a botched boob job? Like, I was looking at her chest. It's so noticeable now. Like, her chest. And I'm like, did she get a boob job or something? Like, if she did, she needs to go sue her doctor. She needs to go sue her doctor for what they did to her face and what they did to her chest. Because she looks crazy. Like, she looks like the Grim Reaper. And then on top of that, I feel like what does she have on? Like a lace front? I was looking at her. I wasn't even really focused on her speech. I was just looking at her. I'm like, Michelle McCool, like, why did you, mind you, this is how she used to look. Like, she was so pretty back then. Like, I don't know why was she, and I don't know these women now, like, and it's the same thing with like Charlotte Flair and Natalia. It's like they put these Botox, and I noticed that like Charlotte Flair, her nose, I don't know if she got like a little bit of like nose surgery or something. These women, like they I don't know, they're ruining their looks and they're ruining their beauty. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not against plastic surgery. Hell, personally for me, I would probably get some plastic surgery if I got the money. But like, there's a difference between like going overboard and doing a little bit. And I feel like sometimes these women, they be going overboard with it. Like, it be too much. It's too much. Like, for instance, like a woman who I think their plastic surgery looks great, like Bella Hadid, the model. Y'all need to go look her up. Bella Hadid. Look at her before and after pictures. To me, I don't know, she says that she regrets doing it. And I'm like, girl, if I was you, I wouldn't regret it. You look good. To me, I think Bella Hadid did it perfectly. Her face, her nose, everything. To me, she's a baddie. But like, there's some other people that go overboard. And Michelle McCool, I'm sorry, like, she looks botched. Like, I don't know if she had a lace front wig or she put extensions, but I'm sorry, you can tell like her hair was very fake. You can tell she had like almost like a lace front, like a helmet hair lace front on her head. Her whole face is like Botox the fuck out. Her chest, I don't know if she got a botched boob job. Like, this woman, I don't know why she did this to herself. She was already beautiful prior to this, but she fucked herself up. I'm sorry. It was noticeable. It was noticeable. And like I said, I'm not against plastic surgery. I would get plastic surgery if I had the chance. I wouldn't do it on my face, but I'll probably do it, a little tweaky on the body. But like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I won't go overboard. Like, I feel like I won't be that obsessed with plastic surgery to go overboard with it. And I know I'm going on a whole tangent talking about plastic surgery, but I'm sorry, I have to talk about Michelle McCool because it was very noticeable. Y'all need to go back and look at that. She looks, okay? Is out here giving Linda Hogan, okay? Michelle. But congratulations to her, I guess. But the people were not here for it. I would say this though too. The crowd was kind of dead. Like, I don't know if y'all peeped. If y'all guys go back to like the old WWE Hall of Fame, like, I feel like the crowds were more alive. They were really, like, even like when they would come out, like the clap, back in the day, like they would really clap loud. But I felt like the crowd was really dead for this Hall of Fame. Like, it wasn't really. But then again, I also heard that in WrestleMania one weekend, the crowd was also dead too. So I don't know. I think people just kind of showed up to the Hall of Fame or to WrestleMania because it was just like, okay, well, this is the event on town, let's just go. and they weren't really interested in what was on the card and what was going on. But the crowd was definitely dead. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the only parts where I felt like the crowd kind of somewhat came alive was during maybe Austin, when Austin was talking and stuff like that. Um, but from Michelle McCool's part, the crowd was dead. The crowd was like, And then Lex Luger, yeah, he was. I feel like he got some claps, but it was still mild. But yeah, um, let me just get to Triple H. Let me just get to it, just so I can fast forward. I don't want to be too long. Listen, I said this in a different video because I talked about Triple H getting inducted again. Do I think that Triple H should be inducted into the Hall of Fame as a singles? Yes, I do. His career was very, like, I'm not gonna say and act as if Triple H was not a great heel, because he was. There's just parts of me, especially nowadays, where I feel like Triple H sometimes he comes across like a mark for himself, and Triple H is kind of like slowly kind of giving me like Tony Khan's, where it's like they need to be front and center in every single thing. Like it just, to me, like it felt, even his speech, the fact that he was the longest out of like he had a whole hour speech. I even saw there were some people in the audience sleeping. Like, I think, did I see Booker T dozing off? Like, that's how long it was. And like the crying and the over, like Triple H sometimes comes across as a mark for himself a lot of times. Like, am I not saying like he shouldn't get emotional about his career and everything that he's been through? Of course, yes, but like, I don't know, like, I guess I always compare it to Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon has been at the helm of the ship for a long time, but like, I'm sorry, like, you can never see Vince McMahon inducting himself into his own Hall of Fame. You get what I mean? Like, you would never see Vince McMahon inducting himself into Hall of Fame. And the fact that Triple H, you are the head of creative and you're inducting yourself into the Hall of Fame, it's just like, it's one thing if Vince was the CEO, okay, yes, and then he's inducting his own son-in-law, he inducted, DX went in, but that's one thing. But now you are the head of create, like, there's that. Of course, like, I enjoyed some of his stories that he was talking about the Click and DX. He thanked a lot of people. He did talk about Vince McMahon, which is very interesting. Okay, it was he did thank him, but he did also say that the relationship is complicated. So if that says anything, I'm reading in between those lines. Currently, right now, Vince McMahon is on the outs with his family. And I don't mean just with I'm talking about with like Stephanie, with Linda, clearly with Linda, because Vince at this point, Vince and Linda McMahon's marriage was a marriage of convenience at this point. Like, I don't even think it was a marriage for, maybe he did love, but still, like, it was just a marriage of convenience. It was just, but I think with Stephanie, with the children, hell, maybe even with Shane, it looks like Vince is on the outs. And I think that if this lawsuit continues to loom and, there's nothing that comes out of it, a settlement, even though I do personally feel like it is going to end in a settlement, but I don't think there could be real healing as long as this lawsuit is still pending and everything that's going on with the Janelle Grant case. But I am happy that he did thank Vince, because Vince was very influential to Triple H's career, not only just career, but personal life as well. Listen, if Vince didn't give the okay, that Stephanie and, listen, Vince didn't want Stephanie to be with Triple H in the beginning. Well, Vince didn't even want Stephanie to be with a wrestler, period. At first, it was forbidden for Stephanie to get involved with a wrestler. So when it happened, it was like, okay, like, I guess, but then Vince was like unsure, so they had to break up, and then, but I don't know. I think obviously Vince is not getting the credit that he deserves because of everything that happened and, with everything. Also, that's also Vince's doing. I'm not going to leave Vince off the hook for his behavior. Yeah, but I do think it's unfortunate. I hate that, like, there's any issues within the family. Like, you want families to be together and to be, to be good with each other, and that sort of thing, and things not to be complicated. But, all families are complicated. So it's just like, you don't want to, it is what it is. But, he thanked a whole bunch of people, child. Triple H thanked the whole, as he should, but it's just that Triple H sometimes can come across as a mark for himself. And something that also left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know if I'm going to do an individual video about it, but like he did an interview with Peter Rosenberg, And he made some comments, and I was not here for it. Triple H, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's kind of getting into his Tony Khan phase. He's feeling himself a little bit too much, and it's like, relax. You are not the CEO. You're not you're just the creative guy. You could be replaced in a second. Okay, so relax. And if anything, you really should be replaced as creative, because the creative has been horrible. This build to WrestleMania has been horrible. Everything, all the storylines have been horrible. So I wouldn't be mad if you get replaced. You need to have another role in WWE. Like, but creative's clearly not your strong suit. You only like wrestling matches. You're not even here for the storylines or characters. So, and you're not building up new stars. Like, literally, when he was talking about Randy Orton and Batista, I'm like, okay, so you saw the vision with Randy Orton and Batista. You built them up so well. But how come when it comes to these talents currently, right now, in 2025, you don't know how to build them up correctly? Nothing is going well. The storylines are not making any sense. I don't know. It's weird to me. It's weird. But anyway, that is my quick thoughts on the WWE Hall of Fame 2025. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 2,000 subscribers. Let's get those watch time hours up. Okay. Please watch all my videos. If you guys want to watch any of my wrestling talk, videos is up on my wrestling talk playlist. Look those up. Let's get the watch time hours up. Please like, share my videos if you care, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.